it's that saying, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah, it's all about how you say it. Yeah. Like if you saying some bullshit, I'm not gonna listen to you anyway. But if you saying, so like dismiss that part. Yeah. But if you say something valid and you actually want me to hear it, why don't you present it in that way? It's like it's like the message versus the messenger. If the postman comes in here and kicks the package and just
y'all ever watch
it all
know,
on the floor,
I'm like, jeez, man.
It's like I might look at the package like, why the would I take this? This is unacceptable. Even though that same package might have something great in it, you know? It's about like, how did you deliver that?
So today's show is going to be how to become a balanced woman.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Yes. So I'm going to lead in answering the questions. So we'll pop in.
Right. You know, double dutch it up.
Yeah.
Hop in, hop on out. Hop in, hop on out. You know, that's all. But yeah, this is mainly just like how last time I was basically speaking about the opinions from a male's perspective. I want to hear Rocky's perspective because she's a woman and she has that perspective going into this when it comes to being balanced and what a woman might need to do, what aspects of womanhood and femininity might need to take into consideration. Stuff that I might have like blind spots to just because I'm a man and I just haven't had the lived experience of being a woman. So, you know, that's just how it is. So it's not like a biased thing. It's just going with the episode. So if you want to hear more of my opinions on stuff, check out the last episode. It was more about masculinity and being a balanced man. But this episode, take it away, baby. It's all yours.
Okay, so first I kind of want to explain my thought process as far as how I got to this concept of balance and this concept of becoming a balanced woman and things like that. So, hold on, I'm scrolling to find, there we go. So a couple things have happened. With trans awareness, looking at trans women coming into womanhood, seeing what similarities we share, but also allowing me to question myself as a cis woman and asking myself, what does it mean to be a cis woman? What is our womanhood there? And also in combination with Oso and I beginning to create rites of passage for our children and trying to figure out what I want to teach our daughters about womanhood. And I'm learning about culture in my anthropology class. Yay, so excited. But so it's definitely giving me language to help deconstruct what I'm kind of seeking, but I don't have the resources for it. And when I went looking for the resources of what it means to be a woman, what's womanhood, all of that, I saw two very different things. Okay, so beginning the show with what is a balanced woman, first you have to look at what exists currently. Because again, I'm not finding what I'm looking for, I'm finding what exists currently. Okay. And what exists currently is a part of the past and a part of the present. But nothing is really like, let's create the future. What do we want for womanhood? And that's, especially for my children, that's what I'm looking for. So I was like, well, if I can't find it, let me do the damn thing myself. Alright, so, okay. So in addressing the past, right, you have to look at the traditional woman. Okay. So
break that down.
So the traditional woman, much like the traditional man, is based within a patriarchal society. Okay. So the traditional man is more of the masculine extreme, whereas the traditional woman is more of the feminine extreme. Okay. And within that, I've seen that's where the gender roles are constructed, right? The gender roles within our relationships, that's where they're coming from. Okay. And I've seen women in those gender roles lose their own individual identity as a wife, as a mother. They get lost because there's not room for that exploration because those gender roles are so rigid, right? It's like, yeah, again, white America in the 50s in suburbia put out this propaganda of the woman being the stay-at-home wife. Again, black women have had an entirely different experience from the beginning of the forced, what they call it, migration? From the enslavement of our ancestors, y'all.
I can't even deal with the term. They be coming with all
They
types
really
of terms
be trying to, they be in denial.
sugarcoat.
Like, nah, y'all was some trash. Y'all was some,
Try to
y'all
make it
still
seem
are.
it wasn't
Like, I'm
as
just
bad.
like.
Yeah, they try. They try.
You know, that supremacy be deep. But anyways, so yeah, black women haven't had that stay-at-home wife experience. So the fact that these gender roles are placed on black relationships, I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah.
Like, black women have always been working. Who was home? Who was in suburbia? I don't get it. I don't. Please, again, let me know in the comments below.
WandaVision, dog.
That was white America. We weren't, no. Anyways, so that's the feminine extreme. That's the traditional woman, right? She's taking care of the home, the kids. She's not working. And I think you talked about it a little bit in How to Become a Balanced Man, where things changed with the war. Forget which war, but
well, I mean, both of them really affected, but more so World War II, the Vietnam War. Those wars were the ones that, like, men had to get up out of there, and women really had to take on the role of being the provider.
They went into the workforce, right?
No, there's like no choice.
Exactly. So in this dynamic, when the men came home from war, the women was like, hey, I kind of like working. I don't really want to go back in the house. Okay, so that leads us to the modern woman. And the modern woman is more in her masculine extreme. She's in this, for black women, we are in that masculine extreme. Like, we are getting our degrees, we're becoming CEOs, we're opening our own businesses, we're traveling, we are living our best individual single lives. We are doing it, right? You know. So that leads us to what is a balanced woman, right? It is not either extreme. It's someone who is able to be fluid and access each of those energies depending on when it's needed.
Yep. Just like how we talked about with masculine, you know?
With a man. Because with man, we were talking about both masculine and feminine energy. Yes. But yes, it's based on when it's needed. So in the work world, because it's a patriarchal system, yes, women, we have to be in our masculine energy. But that's also like task-oriented, assertiveness, confidence. Like, you're getting shit done. You are handling your business. And that is beautiful in the work world, right? But feminine energy is more relationship-oriented, right? It's more about, you know, softness, communication, emotions, nurturing those relationships. And that's where it just depends on the need. It just depends on the need, you know? Did you have any comments to what is a balanced woman?
No, I just think, like, to your point, and it's what we were talking about in the previous episode when it comes to men and being balanced, it's all about that awareness of those energies within you, and then you being able to, with that awareness, apply when to exert that energy in that situation. So yeah, if you're a teacher and you need to discipline the students to make sure that everybody in the class is actually paying attention, you may have to tap into your masculine side. But if a child is failing or something's going on at home and you're noticing like something's wrong with the child's performance, you don't want to go in all rah-rah like, you're gonna fail, you're the worst. That's not gonna be helpful. You might have to tap into your femininity and then be like, what's going on? How can I help? Why are you acting like this? Why are your grades slipping at this time of year before you used to be such a good student, etc., etc. You know, like, that's what it's about. And those are the people who, even that teacher that I just described, you would describe that as being a good teacher,
right?
Like somebody who knows what they're doing. The same thing applies to every job, every relationship, everything. Like, if you're aware of your masculine and feminine energy and you know when to show up and where to show up, you become the best version of yourself, because those are two very crucial parts of who you are. I'm not saying it's everything, but those are very, very crucial parts of who we are as human beings. So if we're able to really tap into those and know when to, we become the best version of ourselves. And I think that's the win, that balance, you know?
And again, these duality of energies exist within each of us.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you accept them, present them, or not, they still there, right? And there's definitely a need there. Like that one position as a teacher, which great analogy, babe.
Mm-hmm. Trying to work on them now. Trying to make sure everybody in the audience can understand and get these concepts.
Yes.
Because they're important.
But it's finding that need and just being able to be fluid with it. Like that's what you gotta do.
Yeah. Okay, so what's next? What else you got? What you got?
Alright, so the next one is, where did you learn how to be feminine?
Ooh. I just kidding. Like I said, I'm gonna shut up. I did not learn. I guess I could answer this later, but go ahead. I want to hear your opinion.
Okay, so the reason I asked this question is because, again, we still live in a patriarchal system, and again, these gender roles haven't really been challenged, okay? Like, yes, we're living in a new day and age. People, we're not going back to the 50s in white America, suburbia, because, again, that wasn't black America. Anyways, but, like, actually questioning where you learned how to be feminine. Was it, like, my mom, who cooked, cleaned, she took care of the house and home, she was present at like all of my events, and you know, like she was there.
Okay.
She was also working, but she was there.
So would you describe her as mostly feminine?
She was definitely feminine dominant.
Okay.
Definitely feminine dominant. However, I saw some of the toxicities within that rigid structure because of expectations as well as pressure. Like, if you're working as a woman and taking care of the house and home and the kids, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of work. Like stay-at-home moms, that's a job.
Yeah.
You know, like this is hella work. Like I don't want to do it.
That's a job. Like if you're taking care of the household, that's a job.
Yeah. Like I don't want that job. Can we hire somebody? I want to spend quality time with my kids, not feel like they're a job. You know, like that's not me. And I saw some of that, right? She's obviously in a different place now because, you know, her kids are grown. But yeah, that's where I learned about how to be feminine. And I was really, again, when I'm curious about womanhood and feminine energy and what I want to teach my daughters, I was really trying to find where to learn about feminine energy outside of a patriarchal system. Because again, looking to that future where we're just equal and there is no superiority, it's just, what does that look like? Right? So I think going into what the example that we used with how to become a balanced man last week, where we're looking at mind, body, and spirit. Right? Like looking at that, and that is a way we can look outside of the gender roles that exist in the patriarchy. Right? Okay, so how does feminine energy present in the mind? And we talked about this last time with men. Feminine energy presents in the mind through emotional intelligence. Being able to healthily express your emotions, being able to regulate your emotions, being able to communicate effectively. Like it's really in your understanding of your emotions without projecting your emotions. Does that make sense?
For me, you know, hopefully the audience gets it.
You know?
Get it? Let me know in the comments below.
Would you have any more say about feminine in the mind? Do you have any other thoughts outside of emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence, I was just like piggyback off what you're saying, not say anything different necessarily. Like it's your mentality going into certain situations. So like you may have like a softer mentality which allows for that conversation to even take place. Yes.
So like your initial approach may be softer, which allows for communication to be had, versus you going in with the mentality of like, yo, rah rah, I gotta do what I gotta do, and then you get that same reaction from somebody else who might be masculine dominant, or somebody who might just not take that approach in the same way.
For sure. And that definitely reminds me of a task I'm on right now is learning softer communication. Like again, individually, I am masc energy dominant, meaning my natural leaning is to be in my masc energy. I'm finding balance, I'm reconnecting with my feminine energy, and I'm fluid in both, but I'm definitely like, that's my natural leaning. And reconnecting with my feminine energy, it is understanding softer communication. And this has been some of the issues within our communication, is that I'm coming to you with masc and you're like, well, I ain't about to sit here and be masc with you, because that's not effective to the communication. And it's me learning to be softer. And shout out to Evelyn, who's been teaching me this. Because yeah, she's been on that journey as well. And it's that saying, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah, it's all about how you say it. Yeah. Like, if you saying some bullshit, I'm not gonna listen to you anyway. But if you saying, so like dismiss that part. Yeah. But if you say something valid and you actually want me to hear it, why don't you present it in that way? It's like the message versus the messenger. If the postman comes over here and kicks the package and just
y'all ever watch
it all on the floor,
I'm like, jeez, man.
It's like I might look at the package like, why the fuck would I take this? This is unacceptable. Even though that same package might have something great in it, you know? It's about like, how did you deliver that?
Yeah.
So delivery is huge.
Yeah. So I am learning that. Hey, it's the Real Family. It's your girl Rocky.
And your boy Elsa.
And thanks for being here. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell.
Right, because subscribing and hitting that notification bell does two very important things. One, it gives you notification on our new content and make sure that you're up to date on everything that we put out every week.
Every week.
You know, every week.
Every week.
And then number two, it helps your boy and your girl out with some money. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it honest.
It's so real, baby.
But in all seriousness, this is just like the video portion, the YouTube portion of our content. We are It's So Real podcast. So we have all these episodes just waiting for y'all on how many platforms?
11 different streaming platforms.
11.
So it's up to you to choose.
Yeah, there's no excuses. We on everything. So whatever platform you're most comfortable listening to stuff, your content on, we're right there for you. So look us up. It's So Real Podcast.
And our link tree is available on our YouTube channel. Go over there, find the platform that works best for you, subscribe to our podcast, and hear the full thing, because we have a lot more to say than what shows up on our YouTube channel.
Exactly. With that being said, check out the rest of our videos while you're here.
You know? And be sure to subscribe.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
And love.
Always.